Hi, my name is Nilo Sanchez with the Law Office of Sanchez and Associates. I'm here today to talk to you briefly about paternity cases. Very often we have cases where a child has been born and the child has been born out of wedlock, and one party wants to establish his or her rights to the child. It's very often the case where parties without an agreement who are breaking up and who are separated have some challenges when it comes to coming up with a parenting plan and when it comes up to dealing with the issue of co-parenting. In Florida, when you have a minor child, it is required that you have a parenting plan. The parenting plan is broken into sections. Starts off with parental responsibility. There are three options with parental responsibility, generally speaking. We have shared parental responsibility, which essentially means that the parties have equal say when it comes to making decisions regarding the children. However, when it comes to major decisions, matters pertaining to education or health, in the absence of an emergency, it's envisioned that the parties are going to work together and to try to come up with a resolution before making a decision. If the parties are unable to make a decision, then you go before the court and you could ask the court to be appointed with the ability to making that decision. Of course, you should always try to work that out as part of your co-parenting. We have shared parental responsibility, where one person can already be predetermined as a carve-out person to make decisions for the children in the event there is a conflict. This is not something that you typically see the courts do in a vacuum. Typically, there needs to be an issue that arises, and the courts address it on an issue-by-issue basis in general terms. And then lastly, there's what's called sole parental responsibility, where one person makes all the decision-making authority, one parent that is, without the other person's involvement. That's also very, very rare, and that's reserved for cases where there's detriment and harm to the children. So in a paternity case, that's one of the issues that you want to have resolved and you want to address. Also, in paternity cases, we deal with timeshare schedules. And we have essentially what I like to consider three different sections of time sharing. We have the ongoing schedule. What is the schedule going to be in terms of a week-to-week basis between the parties? If it happens to be a 50-50 timeshare schedule, there are a variety of different ways that that can take place, depending upon the ages of the children and what's appropriate for the children. It could be 1 week one party, 1 week the other, or it could be 2-2-3, where basically one party gets 2 days, the other party gets 2 days, and then they get alternating weekends. And that could also be adjusted so that one party doesn't go more than 5 days without seeing the children. We have what we call holiday time sharing, and there's a schedule, and we like to have that schedule as detailed as we can. And it's usually on an alternating basis when it comes to holidays and Christmas and Easter and other holidays, depending upon your religious and your faith. We include that in there in order to have specificity. So very often in paternity cases, that's something that we like to focus in on to avoid issues between the parties in the future. And then lastly, we have what's called summer time sharing, so that both parties can have meaningful time sharing with the children. At any point in time, the parties can always deviate from their parenting plan, no matter how specific it is, if they do it by agreement. But the idea behind having a specified plan is so that when there is a disagreement, the parties have the plan to go to in order to resolve it. So when you're dealing with paternity cases, it's more than just the establishment of paternity. It's dealing with the parenting plan and the specificity that very often is needed in order to accomplish and avoid problems in the future between the parties. If you have questions and you're dealing with paternity cases, it's highly suggested that you talk to an attorney who is very experienced in matrimonial and family law matters as well as paternity cases. And please feel free to give us a call. Again, my name is Nilo Sanchez. I'm with the Law Office of Sanchez and Associates. Thank you and have a nice day.